Hello everybody and welcome back to the pYanodons playthrough. It's your ghostified gamer. Oh boy, here we go. As promised, we're going to work on the organic acid anhydride today. We're also going to work on, I hope I can fit this in, because I have like a maximum. I try to get everything episodes under an hour. If I go over a little bit, then so be it, but there's a lot to do. But we'll try and do the medium-power resistor as well. And there is a little bit of a project that I'm going to do, just like I did the nitrobenzene. I think we're going to start doing the boric acid off-site. That way it makes the build. There's two things we're going to need boric acid for. One being the resistor here, and the other one being the electrolytic capacitor. So I wanted to do that off-site. And let's see. I think, is there a cermet in these? No. Okay, good. Okay. I just wanted to check because I was like, wait, I know I needed cermet, which is right here. Yeah. Or yeah, cermet. Anyway. Okay, so let's go through this a little bit here. I'm already making this phosphoric acid for the aluminium. Remember, way back we did that, and I moved it and cleaned it up. It's nice and pretty now. I may try to pull that in and then have a separate build. If I need to expand it, I can. I can always add more capacity to it and rebuild it, because the phosphoric acid is quite a build, So here are some things that I did. I actually was able to, let's go here. Yeah. I was able to get both recipes in here. All you do is you click on the recipe, and if two come up like this, you click on each one. Click on the input, pick one ingredient, one recipe, click on the input again, click on the other one. And that's how I got both these in, and make sure you got matrix solver on, or else it won't resolve. So as you can see, this one with the pyrite output and the sulfur input is being used more than the one that's consuming the pyrite and kicking out the iron ore. And that's because what's happening here, the byproduct is 2 pyrite every 3 seconds, and the other recipe needs 5. So that's 2.5 crafts, you could say. Well, 3 crafts of the other one to get that ratio that recipe satisfied here. So this one will run, and we'll prioritize this because we want to obviously clear it out to consume more pyrite, because that's what the outflow of this one is. So sulfur and the phosphate rock, and then we have phosphate rock and the pyrite. The iron ore we're going to set up on an LTN network. We're going to do a provider for it and have a train just scoop it up. We'll set it to priority 100, and the trains will come here instead of the ore patch. Okay, all this here is what we built in the aluminium field. Now, what's crazy about this, what do we need here? Oh, yeah, we need the phosphoric acid. This kicks out phosphoric acid. And remember, we have to do the phosphorus acid, right? And that's the input to here. This kicks out phosphoric acid and the gas, the phosphine gas. Well, we need phosphoric acid, and then the gas makes more phosphoric acid. So I don't mind doing this on site, but it would eliminate a lot of complexity to what's already kind of going to be a kind of a funny, crazy little build. It's not that bad now that you look at it, right? It's not that bad. So let's carry on here. We're going to need the pure sand here, and so it's water and all that, the usual stuff there. This is the crushing of the phosphate rock. And then we have the fatty acids. That's not too bad. We've done this before. lard and titanium plate. And then we got the steam regenerator here, water to steam kind of thing. We'll flip it that way. There we go. Now, I'll try and fit this in today as well. We need all these components here. We need the ferrochrome again, and the cermet, and the high-powered resistor. But it's a smaller scale now. And the cermet is ash, crude cermet, and lube. And a lot of lube, too. But this isn't going to be running like crazy. We have got... Oh, I'm going to use this recipe here. I'm actually considering doing a ceramic build separate from this. But I just want to get the stuff done, you know, at this point. I don't want to muck around with adding more. So if I can... Now, but it's 3 parts to this already complex thing, right? So if we add salt to this, then we get 10 ceramic out of that. And that's a really good one. So I'm going to use that one. And then we got the ferrochrome. We've done this before. Chromium, graphite, iron plate. We need 4 of them. Or is it 3? Yeah, 3. 4 of the graphite rods. And then the high power resistor is just glass, tin, and coke. And then, like I said, we're going to do... I'm going to do the boric acid offsite because we're going to need it for the electrolytic as well. So I think that's a good plan. I wanted to cover this too. I think I have the room here, and I should have used the warehouse instead of the little shed. Later on, I'm going to come over here and probably fix this because the case, as you can see, is 250 or it's 72 of 75. And I didn't realize, I had to bring this and this and this. And I wasn't really thinking. You know, like I said, I was shaking the rust off. Not playing Factorio for 2 weeks because I was sick and I was working on the other projects. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to drop, you know, pull the wire off here. You just got to remember to put it back on. But the combinator will be sitting here, you know, not connected to the stop. You just pull this crap out, put it in a case, put the bigger case in and redo it all, and then put the crap back in, rewire it. So it's not that big of a deal. It's just, you know, run over there and do it. So I'm not too worried about that. So that's one little update that I have to that. All in all, though, I mean, these builds aren't easy by any means. And some of this stuff, sometimes you wonder, should I just do a big build and then have it available? But then if I could squash a little tiny build in there and just, yeah, okay, I'm multiplying it. I may have one of these to like 2 builds instead of 2 builds with 2 of these, with, you know, 1 each. But I like things compact so I can troubleshoot too, you know. So I don't know. It's 6 1/2 does the other. I think it's more of a play style than anything else. All right, well, let's get started on this. It won't get done until I get it done. So let's get cracking on speed up video. Here we go. Hello, it's Future Ghost here. Before we do the speed up stuff, I wanted to pick... I forgot. I wanted to pick a turd. And I have one. I have 2 I want to pick, actually. The sponge upgrade. Okay. This is kind of odd. I don't know why this is in here, but we can take sand and saline water and get pure sand out of it. That's kind of nice, and then we have this gravel and saline water. And now the sponges generate, you know, the saline, and then we have clay plus saline water because it's rich clay. I don't know if I care for that. I mean, we're already getting, it's not difficult to get pure sand with the washers. They have this sea sponge, 1 sea sponge to 2 sea sponge sprouts. Then we add limestone, and it's 2 and 35. So I don't understand what this one is. We get a 2 sea sponge, 1 to 2 here. It's still 2, but we get a potential return on our original sea sponge, which, I don't think that's really a big deal. But this one right here is what I like. Okay, it removes the need for the Zogna bacteria, which is a pain in the rear to get. And, oh, I didn't realize we have this recipe here. 3. Ooh. I have tons of phytoplankton, so I might... Okay, so maybe we could do this in the next episode, but I like this one right here because it gives us more, and it's easy setup. You know, we don't have to do much more. Well, what I like is the removal of the complexity, and the recipe stays the same. So we're going to pick that one. I like it. And then we are going to pick... Okay, sponge upgrade. And there was one I was looking at. Where are you? All researched, or no, unselected. There we go. There was another one I wanted to pick. Oh, sap upgrade. Well, no, I don't want to do this one yet, because we'd have to retroactively go and find all the sap and upgrade these, which is, I want to mark them before. I think it's the Zypho upgrade. Zypho. This one, I was looking at this one. We have to seed it with liquid nitrogen, and for 3 larvas, we're guaranteed 1 Zypho, but up to 3 total. But I don't like that we have to deal with red hot coke. And all this pressurized water, I think, is normal. This next one, we are... What is this one? Oh, this one here is a guaranteed Zypho. Nothing changes that I know of offhand by looking at this. Now, remember that we have like a 70-80% chance to get a Zypho, and that's why I didn't use these for the arthropod blood. But because it's a pretty simple setup. Not, well, it's fish food and stuff, but whatever. And then we have this one where we're getting... This is an oddball one. Okay, this is the breeding part. We put all this stuff in, and we get 4 Zypho larvas and 650 wastewater. Well, the upgraded version is we have to provide the wastewater, and we get more Zyphos out. I think, well, that's 6, right? Yeah, it increases the larva, and we get acetone. Now, I don't know if acetone is kind of a pain to get, but the way I'm looking at this is now I'm taking my wastewater and having to do a consol with it in order to send it here. And it just seems like a logistical pain in the rear. Even though I like this recipe, I like the idea that we're getting 2 extra larvae, and the acetone is a really nice little bonus, because I looked at acetone, it was like, oh my god, it's kind of a pain. You know, once you get a build for it, then it's no, you know, I look at it this way too. Yeah, acetone is kind of a pain, but once you set a build up, then it's sight out of mind for that for the most part. But what I don't like about this is now I have to micromanage or manage wastewater to get the Zyphos to run. And my goal is to use the Zyphos for additional arthropod blood. Now, we're using the fish food and phytoplankton, so it's kind of a pain there, but, you know, we're going to need more of the arthropod blood. So I'm going to pick that one. Now, normally the bottom one is the better one, but it's also not necessarily true. Whatever works for how you're planning your base or how you're going to do your base, you know. So, there we go. I wanted to pick those. We'll go all and unselected, so the list is going down a little bit. Oh, and then the sap, like I said, the sap extractor, what I'm going to do is probably pick this one. It's a 55% productivity boost. So normally you get 1 sap every 20 seconds. And you're going to get more sap. You're going to get 55% more sap. So I think the productivity gets plugged into that machine or something. Maybe the bar moves quicker. I don't know, because there's a productivity bar on it. Oh, maybe there will be a productivity bar. But yeah, we got to go and retrofit pressurized air on all our sap extractors, so that's going to be kind of a pain in the butt there. Anyway, back to past Ghost. Well, there we go. Another component down. Boy, let me tell you, this Cermet can chew up the lube. It's insane. I might have to the lube build here. I think I'm gonna have to beef this up. It's fish oil and ash, and that's it. And what's interesting is, here's the lube. We have ash for the Cermet, the crude. Oh, no, ash goes into this thing. So ash and lube on top of lube and ash. What the hell is that about? There it is. See, yeah, it's having issues trying to keep up. Well, this thing, I don't think this thing is going to run as much as other stuff, you know? As we get more complex, the less stuff gets used, right? That's kind of how I see it. We've got... Oh, off screen, I added... In between cuts, I should say. I added... If I can find me... I found... Where the heck are you? Here it is, right here. I found a geothermal water, and I just made a stop here. A provider stop. And I just let this thing run and let the tank fill up. It doesn't matter. So that's something I did off screen. And then I went ahead and tapped these phosphate rocks. So here's one here. I went ahead and added 3 more of these. I went and looking around for them. They're kind of tricky to find. And they have a larger version of those phosphate rocks. Here's one here that I tapped there. Because the other builds are requiring more phosphate rock now. We have stainless steel, and now we have this other one. And I think... I don't know where the other one is. I'll have to look. That could be it right here. No, that's salt. It's kind of tricky. I put an icon down, so if I look long enough, I could find it. But yeah, it's no big deal. So I did the geothermal, I did the phosphate rock, and I went ahead and built a ceramic build. Now, I think the clay, you need a lot of clay for the ceramic. It's 10 clay per craft, and these are pretty fast, or 5 seconds, I think. I didn't put it in hell mod, I just kind of kept spamming them down until I saw that it was kind of working a little better, but this isn't really a perfect ratioed build. But I wanted to get the ceramic out of this area. I didn't want to have to bring in another resource, or, well, it would have been salt. And then I'd have to do the clay build, and this would have been on site, and then we got steam and water and all that, and it gets all cluttered up. So the ceramic build is now independent, so hopefully we'll tap into that. And then we have the, so we have the organic acid anhydride. The phosphoric acid, I'm going to have to beef that up. The one we have currently, and it was only for aluminium. Now, it's calling for 2 DDCs to run this, and we only have 2. So if aluminium, like beryllium or aluminium runs, you know, because beryllium's using our molten aluminium, then we're going to tax that build, which is my concern. But this one was pretty straightforward. It wasn't that bad. Here's the iron collection here. It's got already, it's 637 in there. Okay. It's got 637, so that is a priority 100. So the train, if there's steel or iron, then it'll take from here. Even stainless steel, I think, grabs this, would grab this. So we got 3 areas that would suck this up. And when we're building, this would be gone in no time. So that was pretty straightforward build. We have the borax build, or the boric acid build, and I put that by over here, right by the antimony oxide, which it was pretty straightforward. I mean, all you gotta do is bring in the borax, and then you got water. Now, this is a lot of power, and I'm venting the oxygen, but I'm just trying to get stuff done. I'm not too worried about it. I can always come back and cycle back over here, and, you know, I could cut in a line here and do an oxygen pickup or whatever, but, you know, oxygen really isn't that big of a deal. It's used a lot in the steel, you know, and all that, but that's really it. I mean, I haven't really seen much of a use for oxygen yet. But if there is a need, we just got to figure out where these are and kind of pull them out and stockpile it. With LTN now, I definitely got to start capturing the oxygen and hydrogen if I don't use either or, you know. So this is a pretty simple build. 500 boric acid flies out of this thing a piece. So we're getting 1,000 per craft in this area alone. I was like, holy cow. But it's going to chew up the borax, so I might have to find a borax mine and set a new one up just to kind of help, because we're using this for our ore processing, you know, the casting and stuff. Pretty crazy stuff. So this build, what I did was a little different approach. It made sense to do it this way. So the ferrochrome here, what I'm doing is I'm going from right to left, terminating into the medium-power resistor, which I think these should be high. I don't know why they're medium, because they use a high-powered. How'd it get reduced to a medium? But anyway, so yeah, I'm bringing in the ferrochrome from right to left, or left to right. And then I'm just drawing the coke all the way over, because that's the only issue here. I could have requested coke here as well, but it's just easier to belt it, I think. And now we have tin glass coke, high-powered. The Cermet, man, this thing can chew up some lube. I am telling you. I don't understand why it needs lubrication, though. Lubrication is ash and fish oil. And then we add ash to that, again, plus the crude Cermet, which is ore and ceramic. It's like, well, what's this recipe for all about here? Well, we're using ores and it's coke and salt and clay, nickel and molybdenum. Then we've got lube on top of ash, which is fish oil. What the hell? What is this mess? So I decided, okay, I side loaded, did a side load here on either side of the belt, brought it down, and there we go, magic. And there's the boric acid there. And it worked pretty good. So I went right to left on the Cermet and high-powered resistor, and left to right with the ferrochrome, and brought it together in the middle, which is really nice. I like this. It worked out pretty good. Now, next episode. Okay. Now, we're going to break apart some stuff here. So we're looking at the electrolytic capacitor here. I went ahead and, broke it all apart. We're going to do an independent aluminium pulp stage 1 build. Notice, more phosphoric acid. Yeah, we're going to have to beef that up. I saw one of Bold Viking's stream titles in the pYanodons Discord, and he was talking about something about a huge amount of belt, like 8 belts of phosphoric rock or some crap, and I'm like, what the heck? What do you need all that for? Oh, there you go. So yeah, I understand now. Now, we got the boric acid done, Now we're gonna get this aluminium pulp stage 1 done. So we'll do that first, and then we should be good. Okay. When we look at the printed circuit board tier 2, which would be kind of like the next thing. Now we need this for the complex circuit board and the electronics O2, and the nightmare is going to be etching solution. Everything else in here is pretty straightforward. Etching solution requires hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is going to require Van de Bins, which is a huge chain of mess. And it's going to require the arthropod blood, because that's a component to, we have to do the tailings. It's blue liqueur. I think well, I have the build started down here. It's right here. So I pulled this destroyed my zipper build. It took all that crap. And so here we have the blue liqueur. Well, it's using tailings and the Vandabins. The Vandabins is sulfuric acid in the arthropod blood. Well, now, I don't know how much I need of this. We're going to have to... I'll figure it out, of course. But I did start stockpiling the blue liqueur at least, so I have some here. Okay, so let's go back into Hellmod. The etching solution is... And I haven't broken everything out of here, like the cellulose. That's going to be a nightmare. Cellulose is a pain in the ass. But, look, oxygen. Oh, maybe I'll set that oxygen train up. I vented the oxygen off of the borax, or the boric acid. I think I'm going to have to start putting those onto the LTN network instead of venting them. Because, hey, having it is more important than not, right? And it's just a simple set up a stop and a tank and pipe it over and have a vent, like maybe an 80% vent on it, you know? So, might as well do it. The hydrogen peroxide is going to be the kick in the teeth here. And then here, more phosphoric acid on that. Oh my god. Phosphoric acid's going to be huge. So yeah, we're going to have to look at that. But anyway, this is the printed circuit board. We need our little bit of nylon. We need this Bakelite. Now, Bakelite is going to be a separate build because, you know, and it's all this stuff down here. It's crazy. So Bakelite, I'm most likely going to bring... I'm going to do... Well, etching solution's got to come in. The phenolic board, I'll probably have to do that. That'll be on site. Yeah, I'll have to figure out how I'm going to do this because we need the Bakelite for other things, not just this. And I'd like to have that offered to the LTN network so we could pull it and, you know, do some stuff with it. Now, this is a possible... We'll start knocking some of this stuff out. I broke apart the MOSFET, and this is why people quit playing pYanodons. There is going to be a couple things we're going to have to do here. The heavily N-doped silicon, yeah. And then we have, here's, oh look, vanadium pentoxide, and that's Vandabins again. So we are going to be looking at a lot of new chemicals and things coming up. I'm not going to get into this right now because it's just this is something where I just start to put things on the ground. I start storyboarding it, chunking it out, seeing what makes sense to do as an outpost, what's not. So, you know, what I don't want to do as an outpost. But we are going to do a cobalt extract build as well because I should have done that sooner than later. But it's coming up too much, and I don't know if I want to retroactively go back and pull the old stuff out and just bring in a cobalt extract, you know, train and dump off there. So I think I will because, and I should have done that, but yeah, this is what we're looking at here. Look, more aluminium pulp stage 1, plastic bars. These things here, the lightly p-doped, the lightly n-doped, and the heavily n-doped, they're nuts. It's crazy. The rare earth oxides I'm going to do as a separate build as well. We're going to bring that in from another area. We're just going to manufacture it. And I can retroactively go back and maybe change some things up because we have the Paragon that uses the rare earth oxides, I do believe. So I could just pull that all out and train it in. That way we have a focused build. You know, we can always upgrade it, you know, or expand it, or just copy and paste it down for more capacity. So yeah, we got our work cut out for us. We're not out of the woods yet, but once we get the MOSFET, some of this stuff will get a little easier. I have to break these things out here, but what do we got here? Oh, this one. Oh, God. Oh, well, maybe I will have to do these. I'm glad I looked at this. Lightly P-doped, lightly N-doped. Oh, lightly N. So, yeah, I think, you know what? I think we're going to have to do the lightly P and N off-site. Lightly P, lightly N. Holy cripes. Okay. Let's take a look at this one real quick. Ooh, wow. Oh, we got a heavily P-doped too. Oh, boy. Let's see what this is used in here. Oh, we got 5 recipes. Transistor. Okay. Lightly P, lightly N, heavily N. So I think, oh wow, a BioFET? Oh gosh. That's crazy. Multi-quantum dot cell. Well, that's so far off, though. But once we have a build for it that's outside of it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this MOSFET. I'm going to pull another tab. And then I'm going to drop these down and build these separately. Because you can see, it just gets nuts. It's absolutely crazy how much stuff we have to do for these. But, you know, hey, rise to the challenge. Okay, so that should do it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed. It's getting rough. It's getting rough. I don't know. Let me know how you're enjoying. I don't get many comments on my videos, but let me know how you like the format. You know, I do a little pre, and I do the speed up, and I do a post. You know, so let me know if that's something that you like with the series, because you know, feedback is really helpful, and you know, maybe I can change it up. But yeah, I'm trying to cram as much as I can into each episode by doing the speed ups. So I hope that it works for the viewer, you being the viewer. And yeah, let me know. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Peace out.